Hello everybody, hope you all had a great week of networking, and in today's class we'll be talking about the importance of business referrals and sales leads that we receive from our members, from our colleagues, or even from our company. But hold that thought in your head, and I'm going to tell you a very interesting story about Steve that is actually connected to this particular topic. So Steve was a very talented actor, but unfortunately he was not doing very well for himself in his career because he was not getting a lot of assignments. But one day he happened to attend a community meeting where he met a lot of people, a lot of influential people. And the thing is, the meeting was very boring, and so he decided to entertain everybody. He went on stage, he started cracking jokes, everybody liked his humor, they started connecting with him, they started clapping, and after the meeting they all walked up to him and said, "You know what, thank you so much for coming for this meeting. You really lightened it up and we really enjoyed your humor." So next day in the morning, someone called him and said, "Hey Steve, you know what, I actually happened to be there at the community meeting and I saw you perform. I think you're extremely talented. I'm the manager of TYC Theatre, and I usually give chance to a lot of budding actors like you who are talented. So if you have the time, come to my theater today in the evening and I'll give you a chance to go on stage and do your stuff. Who knows, if you're really good, there are a lot of directors who come to my theater, and if they like your work, they might even give you an assignment and things might change for you. But the thing is, you have to be there today in the evening. It's up north and it's really far, but you have to be there today, otherwise the deal's off." And he hung up. So Steve started thinking, up north, out of town, it's really far. I don't even have money to, take the public transport. So he just went back to sleep. After about 3 hours, his subconscious mind started banging his head. It's like, "Get up, do something about it. This is a great opportunity. What are you doing sleeping?" So you know what, Steve just dressed up. He started walking on the road, trying to hitchhike, but nobody was stopping their car. And suddenly he actually saw his neighbor, who he has never spoken to, moving houses. So he mustered all the courage and he walked up to his neighbor and said, "So where are you going?" And the neighbor said, "I'm going out of town because I'm moving jobs and I have to, move my accommodation as well." And then Steve said, "Out of town, so that's up north. If you don't mind, can you just drop me off at TYC Theatre? It's on your way." So the neighbor looked at him and said, "So all these years you never spoke to me and now you want a favor, that's why you're talking to me?" And Steve said, "Look, I'm really sorry. I know I've never spoken to you, but today I really need this favor. Please, if you don't mind, can you drop me off?" And the neighbor said, all right, just get in." And the neighbor dropped him at the theater on time. After that, Steve walked up to the manager and said, "Okay, look, I'm here, let's do this." But the manager said, "Listen, I'm really sorry. Today we're really busy. Unfortunately, I won't be able to give you prime time. But what I can do for you is I can give you 5 minutes right in the end. Right, take it or leave it, because we're really busy today. But if you decide to take it, make sure you make the best out of it, because there are a lot of directors here today. And if you're not successful, you'll never be able to become an actor, at least not in this town." So Steve was actually in two minds. Should I do this? Should I not? But then you know what? He said, "Today's my day. I'm going to be successful." And he actually, he went on stage. He was amazing. He was very funny. He started talking about the funny side of politics. Everybody started connecting with him. He even started mimicking a lot of Hollywood actors, and everybody started, applauding his humor, and everyone liked his aura, his personality. And some of the directors out there also liked his work. And the very next day, he actually got to assignments. And this was a typical case of rags to riches story. So what's the moral of the story? Our head is a very complicated gadget. It has a lot of wires in it, and it has a positive side and a negative side. And every time we receive a referral, we put it into this processing unit. And if we are a negative person, we just go back to sleep like Steve did. But if we are a positive person, we do something about that lead. We actually go that extra mile, we do our due diligence, and we actually meet the client, and we try and convert the lead into business. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we have to approach every time we receive a lead from our members or from our colleagues. Look at Steve's case. When the manager called him early in the morning, he went back to sleep because his negative side said, "There is no money involved out here, go back to sleep." But his positive side of his brain said, "Get up, do something about it." Imagine this, he never spoke to his neighbor, never. But he mustered all his courage and he walked up to his neighbor because the positive side of his head said, "Do something about it." The manager actually told him, "Listen, don't take it up if you're not confident." But the positive side told him, "Do it. Today is your day. Today is your chance and you will succeed." And look where he's reached. The thing is, even Ivan Meisner, the founder of BNI, always insists that every time you receive a lead, try and do the best. have a positive outlook, and definitely you will reap the benefits of it. Even in my case, once I was driving to this meeting, and at the back of my mind, I knew there's nothing going to come out of this meeting because the client was not very big. But I went there any which ways. And in that meeting, when I was talking to the client, there was this person sitting down there, and he was actually listening to my business pitch. And after the meeting, he actually walked up to me and said, "Listen, why don't you come and meet me in my office and let me see what I can do with your proposal?" I went to his office next day, and he gave me a very interesting lead, and that lead turned out to be big business for me. That's the point. Every time you receive a lead, it turns into an opportunity, and that opportunity can actually turn into business. So you have to always explore what's on the other side. Steve decided to go into the tunnel because he knew there was a positive side on the other end, and he took that plunge. He jumped, and look where he's reached. Right? An opportunity is an opportunity. Always do the best and make the best out of it. You never know what you're going to get. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it.